Guys, I don't know how clear this is gonna look or not, but I got a little stipple job project going on. I'm gonna be stippling my Glock 23, and I just, I have sweaty hands, and my hands sweat a lot, so I already cut the grooves off the Glock. I'm gonna do a little bit more sanding, and then I'm gonna stipple the grip. So far right now, I put a +2 base plate, and I grinded it down. It's from what's the company name? I forgot the name of the company. Fuck. Anyways, it feels really good. I like it a lot. And I kind of took an AK magazine and I started doing some stippling right there, and I liked the way it felt. And it was a little sharp at first, and I just took a little bit of 220 and lightly scraped it over the top, take the burrs off, and I like that feel. I really do. So I'm liking this. And so what I'm doing is basically, it's really not a technique, man. I mean, to me, let me see if I could do this on camera. I'm just tapping it all over the place. It's random. I see a lot of guys talk a lot of shit, on their stippling, that, you gotta be real careful, this and that. Whatever. I mean, I don't care the way it looks, because it's going to look a little weird anyways to people. But for me, it's more of a functionality type of point. So I'm just really tapping it like all over the place. Like really random. I'm even going over the spots where I already stippled. And just doing it all over like that. So I'm going to do this base plate, and then I'll come back and see how it looks. Okay, so I got the whole base plate done. I was just doing 3 sides. I didn't do the back. Just doing 3 sides, and then I'm watching football. Anyways, I'm stippling. I'm not even looking at the stipple. I'm watching up at the screen. That's how easy it is. It's really simple, and I like this stippling. It's really a random pattern. There's no straight lines on it or nothing. It's just random as hell. And I seem to think it looks more natural that way instead of straight lines. So that's just me, and I like it. I like the way it feels. It's got the perfect texture. I'm just lightly tapping it. This is all I'm doing. I'm just doing this. I'm just lightly tapping it, and it works good. So let me sand down the Glock a little bit. What I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna sand down the corners really lightly, just so that you don't see that seam. So I'm really not gonna do a whole lot to it, like sand it down like extremely, but we'll see how it turns out. Alright guys, check it out. It's coming out pretty good, just the way I want it. I'm not gonna stipple up here or anything, because I'm gonna get a grip force beaver tail for this Glock. So from here, the beaver tail is gonna come up to like right here, and I'm not stippling that. So you can tell from stock. Look how amazing that butt plate looks. I mean, in person it looks really good. I really like it. It's my first stipple job, so I'm going around the grooves right now. So I'm just gonna show you the way I'm doing it. I'm just gonna let my wife record me just a little bit so you can see how I'm doing it. It's a really close tight pattern. You don't see the divots too deep, and it's still really aggressive. So let me just show you what I'm doing. All you do is, I just got this at Radio Shack. This is like $12 for this stippling machine. It's a soldering iron, but I'm using it for stippling, so it's a stippling machine to me. What I do is I just kind of get a little close to it. Not, my eye, I can see pretty good, and I'm not really putting any weight into it, and I'm not going in any particular pattern. I'm just tapping it, really lightly, and I usually go over the areas, a little bit more. So I mean, I don't think you can see me moving, but basically it's just a tapping motion like this, just really tight, really close to it. I don't have a particular pattern, so and it's going pretty fast. I like the way it's going. See, I go over the areas a little bit more, like when you can see the glare, you can see the old finish, and you can see what's stippled. You can kind of go over the areas. You see here, I'm using kind of the lights on the TV, but I'm just going over the areas that I can see light in, and it's really simple. I'm using a really tight, really sharp tip, so it's really a fine, small little dot. And like I said, I grinded these off. I kind of already sanded under here the trigger guard. I don't think I'm gonna stipple just to here, the bottom. I won't stipple the top of it. I'm not gonna stipple any up here. Maybe I'll do some stippling here for my, my other hand. But other than that, I'm not gonna go any higher either, because the only part that I really like the stippling is right here. This is where my hand meets the gun, and that's where when I grip, that's why I want the grip force also to alleviate this Glock bump. Because when I grip, my palm is pretty big, and it's really just grabbing here and the bottom. So that's why I chose a small stipple, so it's not really aggressive on the sides. But that's all you do, basically. Just like I say, you just tapping it. I'm leaving these this old checkering here, I'm leaving that, but looks pretty nice, guys. So alright, have a good one. And here we have the finished product of what I call a really fine do-it-yourself stipple job. I really like it, and the only reason that I'm carrying that +2 plate, it's not that I want to carry 2 extra rounds. I just want to carry 13 rounds, but I don't want to have that magazine, really tight like Glocks are. And one thing I have to say about Glocks is that they're not perfect. They're far from perfect. The perfection, Glock perfection, is kind of overrated. But what I do say is Glock is a gun that you can make perfect. Perfect for you, at least. Who cares about if it's perfect for anybody else? As long as you're good with it and you're accurate with it, or at least self-defense accurate. As long as you have your shots on target. Believe it or not, you aim for center of mass, you get a kidney shot, that motherfucker's going down with the 40 cal. It's a big, heavy cartridge. Not like the 10 or the 45, but I mean, it's a 40. I like the 40. There's so many aftermarket parts for these Glocks. Let me show you this base plate right here. It's a Pierce base plate. This is how this one was. You see how it is? I modified it. I kind of grinded it down. I have a bench grinder. I took it and I grinded it because that looked kind of ugly, having that base plate like that. I didn't want it to look like another groove because I don't have 4 fingers on the bottom. So I wanted to just make it look like an extension, but keep it kind of classy. So that looks like an extension and not sort of like somewhere you put your finger. I like it. I mean, right? But I do want to get the beaver tail. I want to give it a try, and I'm gonna upgrade to an extended magazine button. And I think that's it. I got a little stippling here for my support hand, and that's it. So alright guys, hope you like it. I know it wasn't too into detail, but I kind of dig it. I didn't want to go too high because I don't use this real estate, and I don't want to have it stippled. So it kind of looks just like a grip, like a Talon grip. I was thinking to myself, it feels like a Talon grip, but there's no way I can get a Talon grip this tight. It goes all the way around it. And my hand right now is sweating just talking to y'all, but I feel the purchase. Feels really good. So. Alright guys, so have a good one again.